I mentioned that an update on the Big Ten. There are multiple reports right now that are saying the Big Ten will have a revote on return to play, and it should happen either on Friday or Saturday. I don't have any confirmation on this, but I will trust those who are reporting on it, given the sensitivity of the topic. But several websites that cover the Big Ten reporting the conference's chancellors and presidents are slated to have a revote this week and potentially reverse the decision and play football this fall. As I mentioned during the show, there's a great divide going on here. And you're going to have a revote. And the fact that it's quiet, Big Ten has been very quiet. Nobody's been available. People that are normally available have not been made available to have any kind of conversation on the record here. And that's where I thought this is probably a good thing here. I viewed it as a positive. And I even reached out to my source here during the commercial break and just say, hearing that this is happening, what are you hearing? And have not heard back from him. But I don't know how much support Ohio State, Nebraska, and Iowa can get from the other teams, the other schools, because that's what it's going to come down to. I told you initially the presidents had a informal vote, and that's why it was 12-2. And then all of a sudden you heard, oh, no, it was 11-3, and the third was Ohio State. So it started out Nebraska and Iowa were the lone dissenters saying, we want to play. And they've been very vocal. And we didn't hear anything about Ohio State. At the same time, Nebraska and Iowa were talking about wanting to play football. Now, all of a sudden, we've kind of shoehorned Ohio State in there, and now Ohio State is leading the charge. From what I was told, Ohio State was not in favor of playing football to start. But I was told Wisconsin was the leak, that they wanted this to resurface, and they leaked out some information. That was last week. And maybe great work. We're going to look back on this and say, you know, there's certain things that happened that brought about this revote and maybe playing football. I don't know how many votes you have to have. I'm trying to find all this out. But can you have 10 schools play football and 4 that decide not to in the Big Ten? And then what happens if you go to a national title game? Are you sharing your revenue with those schools that decided that they did not want to play? I'm going to guess you shouldn't, but I don't know. I mean, this is a wild, wild west in the Midwest right now. But, you know, the reports are, and there are multiple, there are probably 4 or 5 different reports here. In fact, my source is just texting me. He says, yes, that I think that will happen. They have to do something now to put this to bed. So I don't know. Do you revote either way? You just say, let's all revote, but then are you ready to deal with the consequences if all of a sudden you realize that it's 10-4 to not play instead of the other way around? And I'm not sure. I don't know how many positives or yes votes that it takes for you to say, we're going to play football. Does Ohio State get like 2 votes? And let's go to Ohio State. Yes. And Ohio State, yes. Okay. Wait, you got 2 votes? Yeah, we're the Ohio State. Yes, McLevin.
Let's face it, Northwestern should be covering Ohio State football journalistically, not playing them.
And Northwestern is like Alabama in the 70s compared to Rutgers.
Yeah, I don't think Northwestern's playing.
It seems like they're kind of vocal against playing.
Yes, they have been from what I was told. And Illinois. But I think it had something to do with statewide in Illinois on testing, just travel. Same with Rutgers. With travel going into New Jersey. And then I don't know what's happening with Maryland. Haven't heard anything about Maryland. But you might have 10 schools that say, hey, let's go. And then 4 that don't go. Yes, Todd.
If you're a Big Ten coach, and you think it's maybe not safe or you're not into it, do you have to publicly, or at least for your players and the athletic department, pretend that you want to play? If you're a Pat Fitzgerald or a Greg Schiano or a school that may not want to play, but you have to put on the face that you're all bummed and disappointed that you really wanted to be in on it.
Well, I don't think you want to cut out the knees, cut off the knees of your president or chancellor there. Now, hey, we decide as a school. I'm assuming Pat Fitzgerald at Northwestern wants to play. Former player, you want to play, you're a coach. But I think that's where you have to be careful and say, hey, whatever's best for our school, I will comply with. We want to play football. My kids want to play football, but we have to be respectful of those making the decisions higher up on the food chain. Final hour coming up.